China was supposed to dominate the 21st century. For years, we were told that China's rise was unstoppable, that its economy would soon overtake the United States, reshape global trade, and redefine power itself. But today, a quieter question is beginning to surface. What if China's economy is slowing down, far more than we are being told? This matters because China is not just another country. It is the world's second-largest economy, the largest trading partner for more than 100 nations, and the manufacturing backbone of the global system. When China grows, the world benefits. When China slows, the shockwaves travel everywhere, from inflation and jobs to commodities, currencies, and geopolitics. To understand what is really happening, we need to look beyond headlines and official numbers, and start with the foundation of China's growth. For decades, China's economic miracle was built on construction. Entire cities rose from empty land. Highways, railways, and apartment towers appeared almost overnight. Real estate became the engine of growth, accounting for nearly a quarter, and by some estimates, almost a third, of the entire economy. Property wasn't just housing. It was investment, savings, and security for millions of Chinese families. Then, the cracks appeared. Massive developers like Evergrande and Country Garden collapsed under mountains of debt. Construction projects were halted. Apartments were sold but never finished. Ghost cities, once symbols of ambition, became symbols of excess. When property prices fall, confidence falls with them. Families feel poorer. Spending slows, and an economy built on perpetual growth begins to hesitate. At the same time, another weakness became visible: consumer demand. Unlike the United States, China does not have a consumption-driven economy. Chinese households traditionally save more and spend less, partly due to limited social safety nets and economic uncertainty. Now that uncertainty is growing. Youth unemployment surged so sharply that authorities stopped publishing the data altogether. Graduates struggle to find stable jobs. The middle class feels squeezed by falling property values and rising living costs. When people worry about tomorrow, they stop spending today. And when consumers pull back, growth loses momentum. But China's challenges do not stop at home. For years, exports powered China's rise. Factories fed the world with affordable goods, and global supply chains flowed through Chinese ports. That model is changing. Trade tensions with the United States and Europe have pushed companies to diversify. Manufacturing is slowly shifting toward India, Vietnam, Mexico, and other regions. Governments talk openly about de-risking and supply chain resilience. China remains a manufacturing giant, but it is no longer the only factory in town. Layered on top of this are two silent pressures that receive far less attention: debt and demographics. Local governments across China are burdened with enormous hidden debts accumulated to finance growth projects that no longer generate returns. Unlike national debt, these liabilities are harder to manage and harder to refinance. Then there is demographics. China is aging rapidly. The workforce is shrinking. Fewer young workers are entering the economy, while more retirees depend on a smaller base of taxpayers. This is not a temporary slowdown. These are long-term structural challenges, the kind that shape decades, not quarters. So why does the global conversation still sound calm? Because China's economic slowdown is being managed, carefully and politically. Official growth figures remain stable. Targets are met. Confidence is projected. But alternative indicators tell a more complicated story. Electricity consumption, freight volumes, and private business sentiment suggest weaker momentum than headline numbers reveal. Private entrepreneurs are cautious. Foreign investors are selective. Capital controls quietly tighten. The message is clear. The slowdown is real, but it is controlled, gradual, and sensitive. And to be fair, China is not collapsing. It still possesses immense industrial capacity, technological ambition, and the unique ability of a centralized state to mobilize resources quickly. Beijing has tools that many other countries simply do not. But slower growth in China means something important for the rest of the world. It means weaker global demand. It means volatility in commodities and currencies. It means a more uncertain economic environment, especially for developing nations tied closely to Chinese trade and investment. The era of effortless Chinese-driven global growth is fading. What replaces it will define the next decade. China now faces a choice: reinvent its economic model toward innovation, productivity, and consumption, or accept a future of slower, more constrained growth. This transition will not be dramatic. It will not arrive with a single headline. Instead, it will unfold quietly, through trade flows, investment decisions, and shifting power balances across the world. So the real question is not whether China is slowing down. The question is whether the world is ready for what comes next. Can China successfully reinvent its growth model? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a long period of stagnation beneath the surface? That answer will shape the global economy for years to come. What do you think? Share your thoughts below.